Hello, my friends. One Take Challenge, episode freaking 30. Let's go. Ooh, a JJ song. Temporary choice. You know what, singer JJ is a great artist to study because he has such awesome technique and details, and you have absorbed a lot of them. Specifically at the ends of phrases, you're doing little pull downs. Beautiful work. Nice. I think you even have kind of absorbed his tone a little bit. This is great. You've got a beautiful tone. There's no, well, I shouldn't say none. There's not a ton of vibrato coming through yet, and JJ is a singer that does use more vibrato, but I have a feeling that will come for you. And I say that because your voice is working quite well overall. You sound reasonably relaxed. Your intonation is quite good. In your upper notes, there is a teeny tiny bit of, I don't really want to call it tension. I'm wondering if it might help if you just let your mouth open a little bit more, just a little bit more, just so that it doesn't feel like a ceiling. It sounds really good, and it's not making you flat, like under pitch or anything, but it sounds a little like, how can I demo this? That's a bad demo, but I feel like I just want you to open a little bit more on those uppers. Right there. It's good though. And JJ kind of has that tone in his uppers too. Compression. Nice register change. On this part right here, just to give you something to think about. I'm not sure, sorry if I'm saying the right thing. But when we're singing in falsetto or head voice or any of those sort of stylized on purpose parts of a song, I want you to listen back in there and see if there's anything that you would want to do to shape that sound or shift the registration by the end of that line. Keep it extra light and airy, or bring it forward a little bit. But overall, great control. And I'm sure you're probably emulating exactly what JJ has in the song. Okay. This is, I think I've heard a little bit of natural vibrato in some places, but what we just heard was more kind of that diaphragmatic vibrato I've talked about. I think my advice to you is try not to do that unless you're in a performance type situation that you're really trying to bring the song to life. But I want you to let your body make space for laryngeal vibrato to pop out. If you fill it with that diaphragmatic then it's harder for the muscly vibrato to find its way out. But I know why people do it, because you want to have that variance. You want to have it in your sound. Nice. Big range in this song. You've got a great range, singer. So we've got a little bit of pitch inconsistency, not a lot. Like, you've done very well for a one-take style performance. On those upper notes, you're doing a great job compressing it like JJ does, but like I say, we're looking for a little bit more space. So maybe dropping the jaw a little bit, like opening the mouth a little bit more. But so good. Yeah, it sounds so good, so good. Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more space in there. Nice register changes though. Great work. As a final thought, in the chorus, da, 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 watch your rhythm in there. I have a feeling it's just because of breath and breathing and where those pauses are, but I would just watch. If it's a matter of sneaking a breath in, try to not let it upset the rhythm of the chorus. But great work on this. Beautiful tone, great song for you, beautiful range. Keep going and try, just get out of the way. That's hard advice to take, but that vibrato, it's coming. I think it's coming. So great work, singer. Pardon me. And hello.
滚烫的伤口会冷成月牙，炭火会牵引梦游的木马，涂鸦是一张白纸的繁华，它试着张张嘴巴。雪白的天色忽而就烟下，飞鸟想飞走，甚至不喧哗，眼睛要流泪了，主要融化，何必要不疑有他？谁去明天
This song is so wild.
遇见我
This song is crazy. We know this song is crazy. Great work. I would like to hear a little bit more definition. Well, actually, let me watch further.
别让今天罩住我
Just slightly under pitch.
没想到一些天地都容纳
Beautiful.
不下的说法，心里就烧起烟霞，没去过心上人流浪的白发天涯。
Okay, so your tone is pretty. There is a slight bit of, I feel like the placement is a teeny bit mask. You may like that. In the evolution of this show, I've realized that we just all have a little bit of different preferences of kind of tones and placements that we like. But I would bet that if you sang a vowel, I would like you to do that test and see if you notice the tone changing, like la 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 la. So that's of a more mask placement. La 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 la. But if I get out of my mask, look what happens. La 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 la. No change. So it's up to you to kind of think about what you like, but it is a bit of a higher placement. Let's keep listening. Nice. Yay! Beautiful riff! Yes! I don't even know. Beautiful! I think I've heard.
雪白的天色忽而就烟下，飞鸟像飞走，甚至不喧哗。眼睛要流泪，蜡烛要融化，何必要迫已有他？谁去明天遇见我？别让今天叫。
So we talked about how Yichun does a lot of register changes. Now this song is, as I said, crazy. There's a lot of moving parts. I feel like there are moments where you could be floatier. On those super, super high notes, I think there's room for you to kind of exhale a little bit more air into the tone. And then on some of the low notes, I think there's room for you to speak into it a little bit more. Now, by no means is this a Western pop song where there's, belty type talky sounds. But I still think that you might get a little bit more, it might sound a little bit more... Well, the high stuff will feel a little bit freer and lighter. And the low stuff may feel a little bit more rooted in modernity, maybe. Might feel a little bit more... Because it is a pop song. It still is a pop song, ultimately. That little masky here. Great work. That's more floaty. Nice. What is it? Oh yeah, Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. I would say by the end, you're getting a little bit more floaty and light on those higher pieces. This was great work. I'm trying to think, did I hear much? I mean, your agility is wonderful. I don't know how much natural vibrato I heard, which is okay if that's not something you want in there. I think the main thing I would come back to for you is just listening back to Yichun and making sure, just checking with your placement, checking with what I talked about in the mask, just seeing if you want to play with that experiment and just seeing if you want to bring the placement a little bit more down and forward. And then also the register shifts, if you want to take a look at maybe making them a little bit more definitive, more floaty on the high stuff and a little bit more grounded, rooted in the low stuff, or maybe not, but great work on this. This song.
I'll sing one of my original songs.
Oh, cool.
感觉爱却不知所措，不知所措。
Okay, singer, beautiful guitar part. This is a longer intro than we hear these days, but a beautiful part. As soon as you started singing, I'm noticing that it feels a little, what I call push-pull, so maybe a bit unsupported. So, sorry, I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. I don't know, but so a little bit of push and a pull back, a push and a pull back. And this usually happens when there's kind of two ways to think about it. When we're hitting notes with a little bit too much emphasis and we have to sort of pull back and readjust, or often when we intend to put a scoop note, which is a quick, slightly lower note, often a semitone, be a whole tone, underneath the main note. So I'll see if I can demo that for you. So that is a proper scoop. Good. Okay, there's an example. So you have the scoop on so, but you're also pushing on the dynamic. So instead of we're getting and that's the support that I'm suggesting is you need to kind of check yourself and see if you can bring a little bit more uniformity so that you're letting the notes speak, the lyrics and the notes speak, and it will sound and feel more in control, especially for the listeners. Great chords. That's a push. My friend, you are like so many singer-songwriters out in these mean streets where we write songs for ourselves that sometimes push on our own range. So your top notes there, I mean, you're the songwriter. And so if you really do like where the melody sits way up there, then I would say you want to kind of check in with how you're vocalizing it to see if there's a way to do it with a little bit less kind of squeeze, a little bit less strain in the sound. Let me see where the melody goes here. Singer, you're doing a lot of register changes from thick, talky places to more sort of thin, falsetto-y, floaty places. And I think in some ways it keeps it interesting, but I have a feeling some of them are of necessity, not of choice. So it might be cool if sometimes you experimented with when the melody moves up a little bit, keeping the thick tone a little bit, because you are pretty comfortable. I love that chord change. That's a push-pull. There too. Singer, you're like a wild, untamed singer. There are raw materials here, but it feels like you are still just sort of a little bit wild still. And there's a beauty to that. I feel like you're using your voice in a fairly natural way. That's why it's kind of speechy, because you're not trying to be a singer, which I see often, right? And people get this persona. You sound like you, but maybe a little bit more purposeful thought of where you're placing sound so that it doesn't end up sounding shouty. You might need to be thinning out some of those higher notes and or making like great. Okay, so here's a great example. Let's go back here. So here you switched into a thinner tone. Why? Instead of So I don't know if it's because you kind of got tired and a little bit strained from those high notes, or if you really do want it to be more thin and floaty. But either way, if you want it thin and floaty, make that on purpose. Thin it out. Make it feel like that's part of the message. If you are just fatigued, then maybe check in with why you're fatigued so that you can keep that speechy sound going throughout. This needs more support. We need a little bit more. So singer, think about when if you ever have to raise your voice, hey, come down for dinner. If you do that, test that at home, all of you watching, and you'll feel down here kind of engage. And that is how we kind of keep that, the breath pressure. We kind of shoot the air up past the vocal cords with a little bit more pressure so that we don't get that instability. I hear what you're trying to do here. That kind of wild, like ad lib, right? You're kind of trying to play with the melody and it can work. It's going to work with a little bit more support. There's a lot of great, as I was saying, raw materials here. Great work, great song. Great work, great song. Keep on working on, yes, you. Keep working on support. Pause. Keep working on support and keep thinking about where you want the sound to sit. Do you want it to be thin and floaty? And if so, shape it like that. And if you want it to be wild and talky and yelly, shape it like that. Whatever you're doing, support. Think about how you'd make that sound in everyday life. But great work. Thanks for sending.
喜欢看你孩子般走在前头，像第一次发现世界的探索，告诉我鲜艳的颜色好多，你改不掉，突然停下来回过头，想再一次习惯性确认什么，像是要牵手或是一起走，直到风景褪色的时候，你身后会有我，守护你看见尽头的背后，那片天空等着另一段新的生活，能不能答应我，临别时候或许你就先走，粗流感伤就请你留给我，让我面对你往后的寂寞，能不能答应我，分开时候放心回头 牵挂着你的手，松开后能忍住泪向你告别，挥手。记得你爱过，你要记得你爱过，记得你曾经。
I feel like this is really beautiful. I feel like when you're up on those high floaty notes, your vibrato sounds really gorgeous and spinning in there. This is a tough, I don't know if this feedback will resonate, but I do feel like on some of the lower notes, it could be a little bit more speechy, but I don't know what the original singer of this song is doing, and you could be emulating it really accurately. But just hearing your range, there probably is a little bit more room to, and I'm not talking about like belting into it, but just a little letting it sink, letting the placement come down a little bit more, letting the mix get a tiny bit thicker. But this is a great song choice for you.
走过，记得继续向前走，记得我眼中见过你停留，你的身影一直在我的世界里驻守，能不能答应我？
Love that.
临别时你或许就先走，徒留的感伤都留给我，让我面对你往后的寂寞。能不能
Okay. So that, again, I'm shooting from the hip here. I don't know what the original song or singer sounds like, but right here, this is quintessential pop.
徒留的感伤都留给我，让我面对你往后的寂寞。
So you said more, more instead of more. You don't have to yell more. That's not at all what I'm suggesting. But to do that kind of agility, that kind of little decoration or riff, I think it would sound more authentic or sincere if you were a little bit more, oh, say that. Oh, that's how you're going to test it at home. Whoa, oh, mo. That, I think, especially that piece wants a little bit more thickness.
不能答应我，分开时候放心回头看我，让我明白牵挂着你的手，松开后能失去泪。
Sorry, I'm really making the words up. Do you see it? Do you hear how I'm switching? Na, 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 instead of na, 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 na. It could be a little bit more compelling. You know, when we think of register changes, it doesn't have to be super extreme. It doesn't have to be... It can just make a blend more. Do you see? We don't hear it so much as just feel it build a little bit in those bottom notes.
向你告别，挥手。
This kind of reminds me of when I spoke with Jess, how she prefers a thinner mix. And you might prefer that too, but I think there's room. I think there's room in a few places in this song where even Jess might want to thicken it up. But I think you did a really great job with this. I think this, it's the energy. We're in the most exciting part of the song. Great vibrato. Nice agility.
您的温柔能不能答应我？再见时候就别再认出我。
Let's cry.
别让我承受牵过的你的手，再重逢。
That sound, that's enough. That thickness, if you could even bring that thickness sprinkle it in a little earlier. Yes.
换作你向我告别。 回首。
Lovely. Lovely detail, lovely phrase endings. Great job. Thanks for sending.
When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane, just a step behind the rain.
Great start. Nice bassy, thick tone.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in the lullaby.
Agility.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and a dream that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the cloud that far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drop, the way above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Oh, why? Then why can't I?
Dude, I don't know how you're getting this audio. How are you capturing?
If happy little bluebird fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Okay, lovely. Let's talk about this. Oops. Okay, so your beautiful work, beautiful interpretation of this song. One, how did you capture this audio? There's no microphone, but it sounds like super captured and pure and close up. Very interesting. Your riffs are very agile and tasteful choices, yet your vibrato, well, I shouldn't say yet. Your vibrato is very compelling and very interesting, very shallow and very quick. But I also am not entirely sure it's laryngeal, but this might be one of those situations where it's kind of like a trademark for you. I don't know. But this was beautiful. The tone of your voice, obviously you know that you have this bassy, thick voice and you're not afraid to use it. But it was captured beautifully somehow. I don't know where the microphone is or what we just saw, but very compelling rendition. You're a really neat, interesting, you have a very interesting voice. A very interesting voice. Thanks for sending. Great episode. Want to know the secret of how singers make a song sound so emotional? Somewhere they switch registration. They move through different places in their voice, just like we do in everyday life when we're laughing, talking, crying, yelling, screaming, grieving, all the things. For example, somewhere. Do you notice how I'm going from a thicker, more spoken place, some, to an airy place where I might cry, where? I'm going from chest voice to an airy falsetto. You're gonna try. So first, talk or yell this note, kind of aggressive, some. Now I want you to float up to this higher note in the place where we sigh or cry, ha, where, ha. Again, somewhere. Let's put them together. Somewhere. Notice how I'm hanging out on the M. Somewhere. And then popping up on the vowel of where. Somewhere. Can you hear and feel the emotion you're baking in with this technique? If not, keep trying.